battle.
Hey everybody, welcome to the TG Turin Giants of the Turin, the cool YouTube channel that does Turin stuff. We're here to give you a double take episode on Fries Burgers, or as you know, the boring people would call it, a Freiburg. But I think Fries Burger sounds a lot more cooler, in my opinion. I'm joined with my buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash and Dave.
Third person. That's kind of weird.
Dave, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm always doing well when I'm laughing at you. That's for sure. The Fries and Burger take. Another Americanism. I love it. You guys love your fries and burgers. But yes, SC Freiburg. We will get into the city itself, a bit of the stadium, the team, and Dash is gonna tactic it up, as you know he loves to do. So, first off, I guess it's our feelings. How do you feel just off the top about drawing Freiburg?
I'm not as concerned as a lot of people were making them out to be. I mean, I understand that they're fifth in the Bundesliga, and I'm not taking anything away from their league or anything like that. But once you kind of look into the numbers and into the details, you're kind of like, okay. I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit down. Also, we are post-Torino, so we played against a team that kind of similarly utilizes what Freiburg does. So kind of good reference experience, as well as Knots in Torino, kind of similar play style. So I'm feeling okay. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I think it's one of those teams that we shouldn't necessarily underestimate. We have to do our homework, and that's what we're doing here. We're doing our homework. Allegri, the coaching staff, they're all doing their homework. So here's our homework. This is what we have. Hopefully it gives you a little insight into this team, where they're from, who they are, and of course, at the end, after you listen to us, we want to hear your opinions, what you have to say, and how you feel about this. So let's kick off. Freiburg. It's a city in southwest Germany. It's right on the edge of the Black Forest. It's a population of 2018 census, 660,000 people. So not a super large city. Just for reference, Torino is about 900,000, give or take. And Italians actually make up the largest group of foreigners, only at 3,200. So it's still very German.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm like, nah.
It's like, 0.5%, something like that. Their official name is Sporting Club Freiburg EV. Head coach Christian Streich, interesting feller. He started his career for Freiburg back in '83. He did bounce around a couple clubs there, but after his playing career, he was involved with the club since '95 and becoming the head coach in 2012. 11 years.
Wow,
crazy!
That's the longest I've ever seen a coach at a site. That's impressive.
Yeah, promoting them, of course. They got promoted back in 2016. But the club dates back to 1904. It is a historic club. A notable player is Joachim Löw, the former German manager, if you remember him, the guy with the haircut. And he has the second highest goals for the team. So I guess he's the face of that team as well. Talk about another guy as well that we're going to recognize, a bit of an international sensation. I say that a bit loosely, but that is their number one everything for the most part. We have Grifo, who made an appearance for the national team not too long ago. He's 29, but he is their best player overall. So just a few quick stats before we get into the tactics. So this is the farthest they've made it in European competition, this round of 16 here in Europa. Their biggest win was against Nantes just this past October, the 4-0 win. So this, again, a very, very good season for him.
A pretty good measuring stick too.
Yeah. So again, like historically, maybe not the greatest team, but in recent competition, pretty decent. They're holding their own. Now Christian Gunter, he's been playing for the club since 2012 as well, just like the coach. Second in club appearances at 356. Their top overall goal scorers are Niels Petersen. So that's the top overall. And their third highest, again, Vincenzo Grifo. Both still on the team. So again, recency bias is heavy on this team in terms of performances.
I got you.
So Grifo's leading the team with 12 goals, 4 assists. Has the highest rating, at least in FOTMob, the app we like to use, at 7.7. And his goals per 90 is at 0.73. And he just keeps on owning a bunch of different stats. I mean, you guys can check out the FOTMob, but this Vincenzo Grifo guy, on fire. So that's a little quick background of the city, the team, and kind of their star players. So Dash, it's your time.
Absolutely. I'd be gladly here. All right. So, kind of talking about Freiburg. So, the thing is, what's interesting about these guys is they're kind of having the season of their lives in the Bundesliga. Currently, right now, they are in fifth. So, some statistics is 12 wins, 5 draws, and 5 losses. That does sound intimidating. I'm going to be honest. It does. Because, again, a lot of the teams that are competing for Bundesliga are within 4 to 5 points. They are 5 points away from first place, which is currently Bayern Munich. But the one thing that kind of calms me down or kind of makes me look at it where I'm like, okay, we got something here is when I look at their goal differential or their plus 4 and against, they've scored 35 goals this season and have conceded 32. So they have a goal differential of 3. So that's not good defensive wise. Again, if you compare Juve and Serie A, Juve have only conceded 19 goals to their 32, which is almost close to double, give or take a couple. So Freiburg is very, very leaky. They concede about 1.6 goals a game, so closer to the northern side of 2 goals a match, which again bodes pretty well for us. The thing is though they do score, they have scored 35 goals, which is a pretty respectable amount. Again, defensively for them, it's not the brightest defense out there right now. In the Bundesliga, they're currently ranked 7th in goals conceded. Bayern Munich is first with 1, so 1.6 to 1. So that's one thing. The other thing that I've noticed that I thought was interesting was clean sheets. They currently have 9 clean sheets in the Bundesliga as well. But again, when they concede a lot. That's one of the trends. One of their most recent defeats was 5-1 by Borussia Dortmund. They gave up 5. I mean, you can argue, yes, they had a red card and whatnot, but not too good defensively. And the other thing too that I thought was interesting is they're 4th in the Bundesliga in big chances missed. So they have missed, besides Bayern Munich and Leipzig and Dortmund, they have missed the most chances. So again, a team that's not really that clinical offensively, and they also, again, when they concede, they concede. So kind of looking at it, and one of the reasons why I think Freiburg's defense is a little bit shaky or leaky is Freiburg runs 4 formations. 4 of them.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, oh man, Dash, I hope you understand this.
Yeah, so the thing is like, their recent game, which I thought was interesting. So the recent game that they played against Bayern Leverkusen, they ran a 4-4-1-1. So 4 in the back, 4 in the middle, a number 10, and a striker. They tied that game 1-1. Chances wise, they created some good chances, but overall Leverkusen dominated them that game. They were just lucky to get by on that one. And then if you look at the previous game before that one, they against VfL Bochum, I'm totally butchering it, but when you look at it formation-wise, Freiburg came at them with a 4-2-2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that formation is still employed. So essentially, what that is a left center, left defensive mid, right defensive mid, left striker, right striker. They have no center midfielder. I've never seen that
formation.
I have never seen that formation actually at a high level. So that's interesting. So they ran that. And then to make it funnier, against Stuttgart, they ran something that I'm a big fan of, the 4-2-3-1. So that's their third formation that they ran. And that was a 2-1 win against Stuttgart. And again, Stuttgart had more shots than them. A lot of these games, Freiburg is getting outshot. And then if we go to the next game, Freiburg versus Sandhausen, they ran a 3-4-3. That's their 4th formation. So they have a huge set of unpredictability, but at the same time, when you try to be unpredictable, you concede a lot as well. And kind of one of the reasons why they do concede. So like, for example, the game that they did concede 5 goals was the formation, the 3-4-3 was the one that they conceded a crap ton of goals for. Might be one of the reasons why they were cycling formations the last 5 games, because they have not had a consistent formation. And I know everyone used to give jokes about Allegri not having that, but you guys should look into Freiburg.
Yeah, next level.
Yeah, this is next level Tinkerman stuff. So offensively, defensively, Freiburg is all over the place. They can score, but they also concede. Or it's when they're playing against Juve, a team that lives and dies by the counterattack. I think Juve is looking at their chops at this and they're saying, okay, we have a team that's not really defensively disciplined. They like to go forward. They don't really have stability in the middle of the park. I think we can make something happen here, especially with the game that they just had with Torino, where you saw a very defensive coach get essentially demolished by Juve in a sense, with chances converted and chances created. We're liking our chances here. So that's kind of what I have tactically on Freiburg. Make sure you guys click some comments on there, throw some comments, click the subscribe button. Also, do you guys like us doing a double take for some pregame stuff? Because that's something that we are experimenting with this one. But again, for the next one, we're always looking for some of the more trendier topics as well when we do a double take. This is kind of our first pregame double take on fries and burgers. Dave, you have any final thoughts before we close this one?
Yeah, no, of course. Just always the comments. We enjoy them. Definitely get in there, and we are looking to improve. So get that in there as well. Join the Discord. Get on the Twitter. Get on the Instagram, the TikTok. We are everywhere. And that's it. We love you all. We'll be pre-gaming Roma pretty soon for you. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Goodbye, Forza Juve, and we'll catch you on the